No, we did not. I was competing in a High Rocks event this weekend, so um, I was just too much travel. I got home yesterday, um, so that was good. And Brent's been traveling a lot, so between the two of us, we're like, yeah, this is probably not the year for family reunion for us.
Yeah, too much. Been gone too much. I think I was gone for cumulatively like a month. So,
What's a high rocks event? The rock climbing or something?
No, 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 no. It's like you run eight and you work out eight. So you run a kilometer, you do a workout, run a kilometer, do a workout. You do eight of those, and it's timed, and it's pretty freaking cool, and it's super hard, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, highly encourage you to check it out if you're looking to set a physical goal. It's pretty cool.
I'll look into that.
yeah. So Chase, how'd you do, man? Because your goal, the goal you set and what you were focused on the entire time was an hour and 20 minutes. What'd you end up doing?
Yeah, so here's the crazy thing. Like you can't really tell what you're gonna do, right? So like you can pace yourself running, and then you can pace yourself like doing workouts, but unless you actually do the running, then workout, then run, then workout, then run, then workout, you don't really know what you're gonna do. Like okay, I can run a 5 minute kilometer, but can I do that after I do, 80 meters of burpee broad jumps? I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to practice to find out. So I'll practice burpees, I'll practice broad jumps, I'll practice running, but yeah, long story short, I picked an hour and 20 minutes. Just that's just what I thought in my head, and I started studying and researching that. And dude, I'll talk about this in our team meeting today, Brent. I'll go a little bit more in depth, but here's a teaser. 5 minutes before the race starts, my knee is like it just like decided that it wasn't like we're done. It's like, bro, I'm like because I was nervous. I had to go to the bathroom, and you gotta kind of like walk back and forth. I'm literally limping to the bathroom, bro. Like 5 minutes before it starts, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know if I'm gonna get to the bathroom and back to the event in time. But yeah, I think our mind just plays tricks on us. I know you're gonna talk about the RAS today a little bit. But yeah, to answer your question, I put my head down and I said, dude, I didn't come here to quit. I didn't come here to like not push myself. So I just pushed, and I really had no idea where I was at until about 10 minutes were left in the race. And I was at like 105, and I was like, whoa, I can get under 120 as long as the wall balls don't take me an hour. So I ended up getting 114.54. And
Wow.
I was super, thanks, man. I was super stoked about that. Like, I still am like, holy cow, because I just didn't know what I would be capable of. But
It's
for
about an
those of you,
hour. It's about an hour more of high intensity workout than I can do. So,
it's pretty, my normal workouts every day are about 50 minutes or so.
yeah.
So this is an extra, 20 minutes or I guess 15 minutes, whatever. Yeah, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
25.
Yep.
But yeah, it's cool, man. You can do duos, so you can like get a partner and you can do them together. You have to run together, but you can split the workout, so you should get a little bit better time. You can do a relay, so there's like four of you doing it. It's a super cool community. I cannot believe how big it is. It started in 2017, and they get over $150 million in revenue putting these events on all over the world. So.
Wow.
And it's cool, man. You get there and it's like, dude, they got a DJ
It's
rolling and
buzzing.
like,
It's buzzing.
yeah, and anyone can do it. There's like people doing it in 2.5 hours, like they're just doing it. And then you got the pros that are doing it in like 57, 58 minutes. I think the world record's like 53 minutes and 50 seconds or something. So I was like only 20 minutes away from getting a world record. So close.
That's it.
But it was fun. Thanks for
Now you
asking,
know.
man.
Now you got something to shoot for.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
Was
see.
it so? One more question, and then we can be done. But like, was it harder than you thought it was going to be? Like, as far mentally, like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to get through this, or was it about what you expected?
I think the whole thing is mental. But it was like really mental leading up to it. Once I signed up 3 months ago, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this. And like just the mental weight of like this is gonna be difficult, it's gonna be hard, and then you go and you start running and then you do a workout and you're like, whoa, okay, I'm in it. And then mentally you're like, just keep going, keep going. And the whole time, you know, it's a huge mental game, huge mental game.
Yeah.
Physically, it was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be harder physically. Mentally, it's like a mental warfare thing for
Yeah.
for sure. You're totally just negotiating with yourself the whole time. It's kind of like when you go to lead gen, like, do I need to call? Like they're not gonna be nice.
I don't feel like it today.
Yeah, yeah. I was listening to all the coaches and all the coaching moments where it's like you've got this, just keep pushing. So
Sweet. All right. You ready to jump right into it?
yeah, let's roll. Do you want to recap Friday or what do you got?
Well, I think we can. This will kind of be like a recap because I'm going to kind of. We talked all about AI on Friday and how to leverage AI, but that was on the heels of on Thursday, I modeled it, meaning I showed everybody a way that you could use AI. I pulled it up and I had a conversation with it. And I'm bringing that up because if you were paying attention to the conversation I was having with the AI, not just like, oh my gosh, AI is talking back to him, but if you were actually paying attention to the conversation, it's this obsession I've had since I went to that men's retreat, that men's group. Um, and it's the reticular activator system. So I was actually having a conversation with AI on the Thursday call about the reticular activator system and daily focus and daily consistency. And I mean, if it's all right with you, I kind of want to jump into just what I've been learning and what ahas I've had around the reticular activator system.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Sweet. So first and foremost, like I think since I got into real estate, I've heard the RAS that people talk about the RAS, you know, uh, 100 different ways. And yet it's always kind of felt like it's this magic thing that happens where what you focus on expands. Like it kind of seemed like not scientific, more like this like airy fairy type thing. Like I don't know. So as I'm talking to AI, this is the first time I've ever realized this, but animals have a reticular activator system. All animals. And so that made me start asking deeper questions. What is it and where is it actually located in the brain? And there's a point to this, I promise. I'll get to the point. But so the reticular activator system is in the brain stem. Okay, it's at the oldest part of your brain. That's where it's located. And think of it as like a filter. Its job is to filter out stimuli. So if you didn't have it, so like if you're um, I don't know, if you're a rabbit, like you see rabbits like hopping around and they're constantly scanning and looking around and they don't want to become prey. They're also looking for food. They're looking for a safe place to hide. Like if without the reticular activator system, everything would be stimulus. Everything would be in their way. So they wouldn't know what to be scared of and they wouldn't know what was food. It just all would be overbearing to their system. So the reticular activator system basically controls all the stimuli, and with animals through instinct, it helps them determine what's important for their survival. So why am I talking about rabbits and their reticular activator system? The key difference between animals and us is we get to choose. We have conscious thought. We get to choose what's important to us.
So the rabbit's built in that
Correct.
like, hey, predators are more important than the dust flying through the sky.
Correct. Or the bug that's flying
Yeah.
across my
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
Got it.
Correct. So now that I've like had this conversation with AI and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a legitimate full function system inside of our brain. And it's a filter. And then I start to think through the lens of like, because we have conscious thought, we get to choose what's important to us. And so before, every time I heard Raz, I'm like, what you focus on expands. Yeah, I get it. It's like, no, like literally it's a filter and we get to tell it what's important to us. So, Tony Robbins always does this example where he has everybody look around the room for brown and everybody looks around the room and, then he's like, how many things did you see that were whatever color, like green or yellow or whatever? And they're like, none. I was looking for brown. That's them choosing to look for something. So it's just been an obsession. And I think, honestly, I think that's why daily growth is so incredibly important.
How does that? How does DG match the RAS? What's the
Well, think about this. If you woke up every day and instead of getting on daily growth, you watched, um, I don't know, Stranger Things. You watch Stranger Things every morning when you woke up,
or you listen to music?
or you listen to music.
Something people do all the time, right?
Totally. Or you listen to me. That's a great example. All you're doing is giving undesired stimulus to your brain, confusing what's important to you, right? Well, if you take that and you move it aside and you replace it with what you actually desire in your life, so daily growth, what that gives you is you're starting your day talking about and thinking about your real estate business, your personal development, your health, your relationships. You're starting your day thinking about the things that are most important. So I view that as like this process where you can insert automatic RAS filter. So you can insert what is important to you just by joining something like daily growth every single day. And I've seen it in my life, in my business. I see it in our agent's life and business that when you put yourself in this situation of having these conversations first thing in the morning, then that's the opportunities that start to present themselves throughout the day.
So let's just, for someone who maybe is still confused about RAS. So RAS is the reticular activating system, right? It's the thing inside your brain, which you've been talking about, obviously. But I just want to make sure everyone's kind of putting that all together. An easy way to look at RAS, especially for humans, is like, you have probably purchased a car in your life. And for whatever reason, the day we buy the car we've been looking for, we realize everyone else already bought the car. Like, wait, they have one, they have one, they have one, they have one. They even have the same exact car and same exact color as me. Everyone's buying my car. I started this trend, right? Whatever. It's not actually true that there's more of those cars being bought. None of that's true. What's true is you own that car, so you see that car way more often than you did before you owned the car.
So what I hear you saying is the day before there was the same amount of those cars on the road.
100%.
And the only thing that changed is your awareness of it.
Your awareness of it. That's exactly right. So let's take it a step further. We're talking in daily growth about, let's say, getting referrals, and you happen to be around this conversation. And then all of a sudden, an opportunity pops up to ask for a referral, and you're like, oh, hey, by the way, do you know anyone else who's like you that I should be in touch with? And now you're connected, to that frequency of referral or the frequency of this new way to get business, or even just the energy around, getting real estate business because you're submersing yourself in conversations like this every day. I think the likelihood goes up.
So going back to your car example that they were all there the day before, you just became aware of it. in your business, all of the opportunities are there every day, right? And they're actually there for agents that aren't selling anything. They're there for people just getting into the business, people that have been in the business for 20 years. All of the same opportunities are there. The only difference is the awareness to recognize the opportunity, leveraging the RAS filter system.
Yeah.
That's the
And the
only difference.
people who are getting more business than the people who are getting less, like I would argue their awareness around getting business is probably at a much higher level. So yeah, I would agree with that completely. I think it's interesting you made the distinction between animals and humans. Humans get to choose what they put in their focus. Animals, it's built in their DNA.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know animals had it, but then once I realized they did, it totally just brought it together with like how much in control we actually are to the opportunities or how we want our life to go.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
what are we hearing? You guys that are here.
I feel like you guys are talking about people who are normal because I feel like we come across people every day who clearly don't have control. They don't know how to control themselves. And so, like you're giving the example about like how rabbits are able to, they're not able to decipher. They just are like in this mode, right? I feel like I've seen people that are like in that mode who have a hard time deciphering between what they can control and what they can't. Like they almost need to go to therapy. And we're dealing with them every day in our normal lives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I would say they maybe aren't aware of what they've chosen, but I think there's a choice that's been made, right? So like the person who's anxious, for example, like they're highly aware of whatever. They're anxious about people judging them, or they're anxious about whatever, something bad's going to happen in their life. That is an awareness. It's just an awareness on something that maybe doesn't benefit them. So, we're our RAS is there to serve us. So that's the piece I think that you want to kind of keep in mind is like
I
what
think
caused them to choose that.
I'm gonna correct your verbiage a little bit. Our RAS is there to protect us. Meaning, once you decide what's important, the RAS is going to filter out and show you the things that are important. Back in the day when we were hunter-gatherers, it was like food was important, shelter was important, and water was important. So that's what our RAS looked for, right? Because that's what we decided was important at the time. Obviously, we don't have that issue anymore. So I think, to Ty's point, here's what's happening with a lot of people that aren't quote unquote aware of their choices or aware of their thoughts is I always use this metaphor. Would you ever give a toddler a Sharpie without a cap on and let him into the nicest room in your house unattended? Would you ever do that? And why not?
Because they're crazy.
They're crazy and it's going to go everywhere. Well, leaving our thoughts unattended is kind of the same thing because like we have, I don't know, thousands and thousands of thoughts per day. We get to choose what's true and what's not true based on what's important to us. But people who are unaware of their choices, they're just leaving a toddler with a Sharpie to run wild in their head. And so that's, I think, what you're experiencing or what you're talking about, Ty.
For me, it is, like getting up and like I read self-help books every morning. Like it's just it is what a lot like I call like I've always thought about it as like priming my pump, like what's the best fuel to prime my mind, prime my attitude for the day. And I also kind of look at it as like a mental diet, it's like if your stomach is your second brain, like what are you feeding your first brain? And what you put in there is the food that it digests and how it operates. And like you need to prepare it, provide it things like daily growth and things that are gonna set you on the right path and put the right lens in front of you to see, the things and recognize the opportunities that are in front of you.
Kind of reminds me of the input conversation that I think Darren Hardy uh, has in the compound effect. Like what you choose to put into your brain ultimately compounds to either, you know, a more positive view or a more negative view. And it doesn't take very much. Like, if we grow 1% a day, if we improve our knowledge or skill set 1% a day, that doesn't seem like very much, but at the end of the year, you're 365% better. That's a big number.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I've learned to not look at decisions like good or bad. I try to frame them as strong or weak.
Hmm.
Like, is this going to make me stronger or is this going to make me weaker?
Which wolf are you feeding? Yeah.
On the conversation about RAS,
Yeah.
I just had a connect the dots moment. So there's a very important period in our lives in which we do not have a choice um, in what goes into our reticular activating system, the RAS, and that's between the ages of 1 and 7, right? So 1 and 7, the RAS is there to absorb any um, important event as the survival mechanism for the remainder of life until you are conscious enough to reprogram those.
Mm.
So if you have an environment during the first period of your life that is in constant survival mode, you are going to be an anxious, high stress individual until you choose to reprogram the RAS to a different type of mentality. So it's not only until we get older that we have now the conscious free will to revisit the initial RAS programming and redo it. That's pretty cool.
Well, and here,
Alex, mind
go ahead,
you,
Ty.
I was gonna say, like, I'm watching that play out in real time with my adoptive daughter. Everything you just said, that age gap, and she's far behind in a lot of areas, and so she's anxious and has a lot of mental health issues. But I will say, trying to help her reprogram at an earlier age versus a later age is my whole goal. Because I feel like once you try to do this stuff later on, your habits are so ingrained in you that it's so hard to make changes. So we're trying to catch it early. We've got her in therapy, and everything that you just said, it very much resonates with our life currently as parents.
Parents put me in therapy when I was in middle school, and it was the greatest thing ever. And it taught me a lot of coping mechanisms. And yeah, good for you for getting her in there.
So Brent, did
Yes.
you I guess transitioning this a little bit, I know you were talking about an announcement on Friday. So how do you want to roll into this?
Well, so Chase and I think I mentioned this last week, like, in the current landscape of AI and the future landscape of AI, we wholeheartedly believe that human connection and human collaborative growth is going to be and continue to be extremely important for the RAS. I think there's that aspect of it. Exposure to different thought, exposure to different perspectives and mindset, and honestly, just exposure to how we all are interacting inside of our businesses and operating through this landscape that seems to be changing on a annual basis. So originally, how we saw that playing out was daily growth, and as we planned and developed and created, we realized that we were moving into something that was really valuable, and we are starting to have people with organizations. We're starting to have organizations reach out and figure out how to get their organizations involved in daily growth, and so we're transitioning a little bit. The new name, if you Chase, you wanna kind of go over the name and what it's going to entail?
Yeah. So, we've been working on this in the back end for months and months and months, and now we're finally getting to where we're going to roll this out. And for all of you guys that are here live, we've got an email we'll send out to you guys with some details. But the new name of the entire program is Momentum. So we had the Momentum series, which was just once a week. Now everything's Momentum. So that's daily growth. It's going to be, every month we're going to have a 1 week business building series. Each month we'll launch it. It'll be a whole week inside of DG, where it's basically kind of like training. It's not going to be our typical daily growth where we're gratitude and all that. We're just going to go right into the training. Of course, all those will be recorded. They'll be put in the private Facebook group. We are transitioning every Wednesday now. It's going to be a weekly live coaching call. We're going to have people volunteer to be coach. We might have maybe just one, maybe two, three, four, where we're going to do live coaching with those people and kind of go through what they're dealing with and set goals and move forward. Our digital asset library, obviously, you guys have access to that right now. We will have quarterly classes that will go out as part of the Momentum package. Quarterly Titan interviews, the Monday rev ups you guys get. And then, of course, I already mentioned the private Facebook group, but all that's going to be one package. Now, for the pricing of this, what we've tried to figure out is like, how do we go in and get this priced appropriately, and then how do we go target these organizations and price it appropriately for them as well. So typically if you're going to hire a one-on-one coach, you're going to pay somewhere between like $1,000 and $5,000 a month to get coached one-on-one. We look at this package as a total, and for individual agents, so their brokerage is not paying for it for them, or team owners are not paying for it for them. For the individual agent, the cost of the entire program is going to be $500 a month. For you guys on this call, look for an email. You guys are going to be founding members. Every single one of you will have the entire package free through the end of this year, and then discounted for life starting in 2027. So look for an email. It'll come out hopefully a little bit later today. But it's $500 a month for an individual agent to join. And then basically our core people right now are teams, large downlines, and brokerages. Those have been the core people we've been talking to. They will be purchasing it for their entire brokerage. So you'll see, hopefully very shortly, you'll see this room start to fill up. So you want to show up early. If you have questions, you want to get those asked quickly. But the entire package, the value, what is the value per month that we've kind of placed on everything, Brent?
Total value per month, if you were to just add up each individual thing and then divide it by, or for the year and divide it by 12, is $2,517 a month in value. So
Yeah.
that's between the daily growth, the live coaching, the Titan interviews, the quarterly classes. And those quarterly classes, guys, those are going to be very time relevant. So they're going to be digital courses. The courses that we typically sell are $300 a piece. So when you get access to it, you're going to basically get a coupon code to get that course for free for the quarter. And it's going to be like in-depth how to. So one example is our 6-figure blueprint. And it's literally how to re-foundation your business from start to finish to have a 6-figure business in 90 days. So that's an example of a digital course.
Yeah, and if you haven't figured out by now, Brent and I are pretty passionate about helping agents grow. We've been poured into over the years. We've hired tons of coaches over the years. We've paid for all the courses, all the conventions. We've spoke at those conventions. Super important to us to pour into people. Now we do coaching one-on-one, it doesn't scale, unfortunately. Like right now, or I think Brent might have one spot. I'm kind of on the full side, and we just can't get to as many people as we want. So this is the way that we can get to the people that we want. We can give back to the community and hopefully scale it the right way. If you are a one-on-one client, this is all included in your one-on-one package. But yeah, we're super excited. If you have a brokerage you work with and you want us to reach out to them, send us their info. We'd be happy to talk to them, and maybe you could talk to them as well and let them know that you'd like to have this, and you think your brokerage or your team that you're on would benefit from it. Just give us their info. We can reach out. So we're basically out of time, my man. Did we miss anything?
I don't think so. The only other thing I would say is if you know of a downline leader, so EXP, Real, they have rev share downlines. So we've been talking to several who are the head of their downline, and they want to purchase the program for their downline. So same concept. If you know anybody that would want to invest in their downline.
Last thing, just for you guys, there will be a little bit of a change soon. I don't know exactly when, probably in the next week or two. It'll be in the email we send out, but you'll have to be registered and logged into Zoom to get access.
Yeah, it's very simple.
So it'll be hopefully simple. If you're running into problems, read the email again, and then if you're still running into problems, you can reach out and we'll figure it out for you. But
yeah, my guess is that 95% of the people on this call are already registered to their Zoom, and
yeah,
so you'll just have to follow the link given to
whatever
you.
email you're getting emails from us right now, just make sure that's the Zoom login. So
Yep.
okay,
Cool.
Hey, good for you guys. I'm excited.
well, thank
Yeah,
you. We're
cool.
we're super excited about it too, and we're excited to see this room fill up. So it'll be fun. We've really been working hard to make sure that there's value, and appreciate you guys showing up and helping us work on it. So thank you guys. Have an amazing day. See you all tomorrow.
All right, take care.